discretion without advance notice. First item on the agenda, call to order, roll call.
Yvette Villalobos, present.
Eric Gallegos present.
Cesar Martinez present.
Marroquin present.
Lori Garza present. Not with us at the moment, Mario Mesa and Larry Cantu Sr. Next item on the agenda, moment of silence, prayer. Dr. Puig, would you like to lead us in prayer?
Sure, yes, ma'am. If you will bow your heads with me. Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening thanking you. And Lord, we thank you for the truth that you are singular, Lord, that you are sufficient and you are sovereign. We ask you, Lord, to move through this room tonight. Remind everyone here that we are divinely appointed to do the work here in Robstown ISD. Give our trustees the wisdom, the discernment, and the humility to make decisions in the best interest of those you have entrusted in their leadership. And we ask this in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Dr. Puig. Next item, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, everyone. Next item on the agenda, our vision and mission statements. Trustees?
Our vision statement is to ignite brilliance and impact lives by providing transformative learning opportunities that empower students for generations to come.
The mission, to empower, inspire, and invest in our students and staff, igniting the best version of themselves. Together, we positively impact our community and the world.
Thank you, trustees. Next item, public participation. Ms. Idema?
All right, Madam President, if you allow me to, at this time, public participation open forum as per our policy BED local. In accordance to the board policy BED local, the Robstown ISD Board of Trustees welcomes comments from citizens on any agenda item or non-agenda item at any regular board meeting. In the event of a special board meeting or workshop, public comments will be limited to agenda items only. Those wishing to address the school board must provide their name for the record and observe a 3-minute time limit. During this time, the Board of Trustees may not respond to the citizens' concerns as per the Texas Open Meetings Act. And for the record, Mr. Cantu and Mr. Mesa are present at 6:03.
Is he here? Ms. Idema?
Mr. Hernandez?
Good evening, Robstown Independent School District School Board, Dr. Posh, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jorge Hernandez. I just came in from Corpus Christi ISD board meeting. So this is kind of an impromptu kind of speech here. My parents were real cotton pickers. They picked cotton, they picked any kind of fruit, vegetable, but at that time, if you didn't work, you didn't eat. I'm a psychology teacher looking for a teaching position so I can teach students how to behave. I can't teach robotics, but even robotics, it's kind of the in thing right now, AI. The thing about it is that what people don't realize is just like picking cotton. My parents picked cotton, like I said, and my mother went ahead and made the transition to go to Corpus from Laredo, and started working as a housekeeper. My brother, again, did the same thing. He became a 4th grade teacher. I went ahead and became a health science technology teacher, but I noticed that students were having problems, so I became a psychology teacher, became a counselor, and I just couldn't get a job. So I became an LCDC, Licensed Chemical Defense Counselor. And the point I'm trying to make here is that all school districts right now are having problems with students, and they're doing the same thing. The state wants to go ahead and put the 10 Commandments, which goes against the Constitution. They did DARS, again, didn't work, and so that now is, you're going to start, you can't go ahead and start expelling students again. Where I trained in Glosbury in San Diego, it was, I spent there 4 years. I didn't learn anything, but I did listen to the inmates, and I found out the secret to how to behave themselves. Okay, as far as drugs, behavior, spousal abuse, I mean, the whole thing. The thing about it is that I need an opportunity. Robstown would be an ideal place because it's a small community. And the thing about it, I saw it, a year ago when they caught 3 students at Ortiz Middle School. One of them had a weapon. It could have been, an unfortunate event if the police officers hadn't really handled the situation correctly. Last month, you all had an unfortunate death, and then another one getting shot, and another getting arrested. And so it's time to go ahead and make a change, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and I'd like an opportunity to really share my knowledge with the students to where they can go ahead. Now, I tried the chief of police, Michael Tamés, and the thing about it is he says it on television all the time. It's the parents that need to go ahead and get these students in order. But again, it starts at home, yes. But then again, the school goes into the school, and then it moves on to the juvenile justice system, and then the criminal justice system.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Again,
Sir.
thank you.
Thank you.
Any others, Ms. Irma? No? Thank you, Ms. Irma. Next item, awards and recognitions. Dr. Puig?
Thank you, Madam President and trustees. At this time, I'd like to invite Katrina Alejandro up for the recognitions this evening.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the school board, and Dr. Puig. This evening, I'm honored to recognize one of our own in central office, Mrs. Clarissa Lopez, for the Proud You're a Picker Award. Mrs. Lopez, if you could come up. Mrs. Clarissa Lopez is the administrative assistant for teaching and learning. While she serves central office with exceptional dedication, her impact exceeds across the entire district, supporting campuses, staff, and teachers with the same level of care and commitment. Mrs. Lopez is a true champion for our educators and staff. She ensures that every professional development session, whether for teachers, administrators, or district personnel, is equipped with thoughtful hospitality, creating a welcoming and positive environment where all feel valued. She also jumps at every opportunity to help teachers with classroom projects, materials, and anything needed to elevate student learning. What truly sets Mrs. Lopez apart is her joyful presence. She always performs her work with a smile and is consistently seeking ways to help others. Her willingness to serve, often before asked, reflects her deep commitment to supporting our district's mission and values. Mrs. Lopez embodies service, joy, and excellence in everything she does. Her servant-hearted leadership, reliability, positivity, and genuine care for others make a meaningful and lasting impact on Robstown ISD. She truly represents what it means to be part of the Cotton Picker family, and for these reasons, Mrs. Lopez is this month's Proud You're a Picker recipient.
Sorry.
Perfect answer.
That is a great answer.
Yes. And that is all that I have.
Thank you, Ms. Katrina.
Thank you, Katrina.
Next item on the agenda, President remarks. So we have our TASB Governance Camp, powered by Student Voice, March 4th through the 7th. Is that
Did our kids get approved, sir?
We are in the process of working on the submission with our Superintendent Student Leadership Advisory Committee. In fact, we are meeting with them tomorrow. Wednesday. What's today? Monday? Okay, I'm sorry. Wednesday, yes. And I think also as a team, we're probably going to submit as well. So
All right, what are we gonna talk about?
we're working on that right now.
Okay. Let's talk about fun. How to be fun. Okay, next item, ESC School Trustee Recognition Dinner. How do we register for that? We just let you know we're gonna go, sir?
Yes, ma'am, and Ms. Padilla will arrange everything.
Thank you, Ms. Irma. Next item, City of Robstown Parade, that's December 19th. Actually, I can go now because my Vegas trip has been canceled. Oh, no, I can't go. My grandbabies will be here. Sorry. But, I mean, I know Southside's gonna participate.
I haven't submitted, but I was, I
No?
wanted to see what the consensus of the board was. If,
Okay.
Anybody wanted to attend and maybe go together or
Dr. Pui, can you attend?
individual.
Let's see, that is the Friday before the break?
Saturday.
That's a Saturday. I gotta see if I'm in town. Let's see.
It's a Friday? Oh, it's a Friday.
Friday?
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Or haven't submitted.
Okay, so is it individual?
Well, I was waiting to see who was gonna attend so that we can come together. But, if we wanna go together,
Well, the whole thing, what they were telling me was that they liked it if we did it individual, so it can make it kind of stretch to last. I mean, I get it, but I mean, it's whatever, though. I mean,
we'll talk.
okay. Next item on the agenda, Superintendent Report. Dr. Puig.
Thank you, Madam President and trustees. Let me pull up a presentation here, and we'll go through this together. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. We want to touch on 5 areas here this evening. We'll talk about the usual enrollment and attendance. We'll talk a little bit about the budget. I want to make a mention of the library policy, Senate Bill 13, a little bit about the core business and some of the visitors that are going to be arriving this week and next to our campuses, and then, of course, Christmas break. The first bit of business is the attendance. And while we are up as a district again, you notice for the first time we see 2 down arrows. This is the first time in 3 years we have not seen an increase in attendance. It's a slight decrease, but nonetheless it is a decrease in the attendance. So we have that at 2 campuses. The big story tonight I really want to share is the enrollment trends. Schools nationally, statewide, and locally are experiencing tremendous enrollment decline. Has anybody heard that? If you look here, these are headlines from The Hill, the Alabama Tribune, and some other publications. Also, we'll see our friends up the road at Corpus. Their enrollment has dropped from 40,000 to 32,000 pretty sharply. And then you see the last one on the right there, why the homeschool boom isn't slowing down. So I want us to be keenly aware. We have to continue to reinvent. When we say ignite brilliance, that's not a slogan. It means creating a new transformative experience for our kids, which is happening already here. We just have to take it 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps further if we want to maintain enrollment. But if you talk about and you look at some of the demographic data, why the enrollment decline? Part of it, if you look nationally and even statewide, the birth rate has been decreasing since 2010. From 2010 to 2020, the birth rate has decreased nationally and statewide, which is now showing in public schools. We also know that the options for parents, no shortage, right? Homeschool, private school, micro schools. We had a micro school pop up here in our backyard. I think at one of the a church nearby here. So this is going to continue. We cannot pretend like the sky is falling, or even think the sky is falling. We just have to innovate and double down on our strategic plan. But we have to keep it real. The most important thing we do here is define reality. We have to define reality, right? So let's look at the reality for us. I'm going to highlight 3 boxes tonight. The first box is going to be during the COVID time. Now, you might see there at the very top in 2018, 2019, nearly 2,800 kids. Let's go through that COVID period there. We lost, do the math there in those 3 years, 340 kids in Robstown during that COVID time, right? And we were coming out of COVID in 22, 23, and the loss was less. Nonetheless, it was felt. And then we really started to kind of come together and really sell the experience here and talk about all the innovative things from the Picker Pass to the CTE programming to the different choice schools. And over 2 years, we had 168 kids come back. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't say we weren't shocked by the 135 enrollment decrease we're experiencing right now. That's real. That's real. 80 of those kids are from our elementary. 55 of those kids are from secondary. 80 from elementary and 55 from secondary. 60 of those from Robert Driscoll. San Pedro actually had an increase of 20 kids at San Pedro. So this is real. So we have to just confront the reality. What is the bottom line number? This is what I really want to stress tonight for the folks in the room and those listening at home and watching. That enrollment results in a $2 million hit to the district. We didn't anticipate losing 135 kids. We didn't. So let's put that in perspective. We know we're going to talk about the state of the budget on the 14th, but we want to talk about it tonight a little bit. And so I want to pass out an updated fiscal statement just so we understand the fiscal position of the district. Oh, I'm sorry. You're good. If you look at your document, the financial statement, which we typically give every month, I wanted to update this one and highlight one number. You see one number highlighted there on the page in yellow. That is our fund balance. It is what indicates your fiscal position. Your fiscal position. As you see there, and this is the audited fund balance, so the auditor will be here next month and he'll go over it with you. And Ms. Cistanos and I have been in conversations with the auditor. You see $10.9 million. Now I want to be real clear about that. That is adequate. That's sound. It's adequate. It's adequate to help stave off what may come, and that is a $2 million hit. Does that make sense? So we have to be prepared with our reserves to take on a potential $2 million loss. That's, for our district of our size, and that's incredible. But this is adequate to help. So I want to make sure to put it in perspective. Adequate, typically, the TEA and the Texas Association of School Board Officials will recommend 2 to 3 months. This is 4.4 to help stave off what may come down. Does that make sense? Okay, so I want to put that in perspective. So when we talk about the first rating, we know we're an A rating. How do you lose your A rating? Mrs. Cistanos will tell you, she didn't go over it last time, she didn't need to, but as soon as your cash reserves start to decline, so does your rating. Am I correct, Ms. Cistanos? Yes. So as soon as your cash reserves start to decline, your rating starts to decline. Then you can't get loans, you can't get help because your bond rating goes down. So we want to make sure we put that in perspective, not only for us here, but the folks in the community and folks listening at home. Again, the fund balance is adequate, but knowing what is coming with this loss of enrollment is crucial that we recognize that with the fund balance, we have to be very, very limited. We have to be strategic and clearly justified in spending any of it moving forward. That being said, how do we do that? What are we doing? What's the solution? Well, the first bullet there, you'll see the Texas Association of School Business Officials Navigating Deficit Budget Series. Yes, I am taking classes in that alongside who? Ms. Cistanos. These classes run all year, and we have one, is it Wednesday? I keep saying everything's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? When's our next class? Tomorrow? Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So we want to make sure that we really understand how to navigate this deficit budget situation. So I am taking courses alongside Ms. Cistanos and alongside other CFOs and superintendents across the state that are experiencing the very same thing. We just completed Mrs. Silva's and working with TASME, myself, a staffing study. We're in the process of reviewing the preliminary draft of that. Again, that helps us be real strategic with the way that we allocate the resources. The other thing that we're doing is looking carefully at a secondary schedule analysis. We have to make sure that the master schedules are very, very productive and efficient. So we're going to take a deep dive into that. And also, this is something we've been talking about for several months, and that is the strategic use of the INS fund balance. So I'm going to have you look at one more on your sheet here. If you look at that last column, you'll see 599 at the top, interest and sinking. Do you see that? 599 interest and sinking. At the very, very bottom there, you'll see a fund balance there. Y'all see that? It says about $2.4 million. And that last column, I didn't highlight it, maybe I should have. All the way over. Okay, so we have an excess amount of money that can only be spent on debt. Have we talked about this before as a team? Thank you, we have. So when we talk about strategic use, we also have, right now tied up in our 199, our M&O, we have some M&O debt that we've tied up in there that we could, with vote approval, without raising taxes, move over to INS and use that fund balance to pay some stuff off. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And that clears up some fiscal space for our teachers, our staff, our community, and also prepares us strategically in case this enrollment thing continues, right? The recent audit results I just talked about, again, fund balance is adequate. It's sound. We have some to stave off any more of this decline. It's here in our reserves, so just letting you know that. And our auditor will be here in January meeting, correct, Mrs. Sinenos? Okay, for that. Okay, so, and then if we wrap things up here, because now I'm, 9 minutes, goodness. Mr. Garcia is going to talk about the instructional site visits. That's our strategic plan. We keep going over like a broken record. Tier 1, PLCs, ILTs, learning walks, and coaching. Everything revolves around that. We have some visitors that are coming to check it out tomorrow, right, Mrs. Padilla? Be here bright and early to watch the visits and see what kind of instruction's happening around our strategic plan. And finally, just 3 things to know about Senate Bill 13. Remember, the board approved the board policy on libraries. We did not do the committee. Our wonderful librarian, Mrs. Jessica Juarez, has already done the lift of putting together all those resources and publicly putting it out there on the website on October 1st. So it's out there for everyone to review. Remember, this bill requires now parents to really have a say in those materials. Yes, sir. So it's out there now. The next step is for you all to take a look at it. I've sent it to you. We'll come back in January, and with the recommendation and advice from our librarian and administration, we will recommend those documents for potential approval by you.
Sir, so I'm reading, I'm sorry for interrupting, sir, but I'm reading what you have posted there. So we did not approve to create a Slack, but
Correct.
But what I'm noticing there is that if parents do,
Yes, sir. Yes.
and what does that mean as far as enough parents? Is
So
there
there's a
something-
threshold, yeah.
Okay.
So you recall there's a threshold number of parents that have to come together. I think it's 50. I don't quote me
Okay,
on that.
okay. I just want
Yeah.
to, now that you say that, because we didn't approve it, and then if it comes back, I just want to make sure to see what that number would have been, if it goes by our district size, or you can just find that out for me.
Yes, sir. You got it. Okay, and then want to say lastly, Christmas break begins on officially at 5 o'clock on December 19th. I've asked all students and staff to rest. You have 16 days. Do not think about work. Unplug and spend time with your families and your kiddos and all those things that are near and dear to you, okay? Thank you all. Thank you, Madam President.
Sir, I had a question, sir. None of the construction costs is on here, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
So, because how much did we get on the tax notes?
3.5. Right. Yes, sir.
So if we gotta pull anything, to cover anything, it would come from the fund balance.
Right. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Trustees, does anyone have any questions on enrollment or attendance? Do we want to talk a little further on that?
I do. The concern is, are we still following policy? What's is it a when a student doesn't show up in 15 days or
15
more?
I think it's
15 days.
15 days now.
Are we still
Right.
following that policy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, any exceptions or anything like that?
Not typically.
Okay,
And I say not typically because we have to also prove that we've exhausted all efforts, right?
I got you.
Yes, sir.
So we're still taking documentation and everything?
We have to.
I know truancy, we haven't talked much about it. I know, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, maybe we talked a lot about truancy. So we haven't heard much about it.
on it, I think.
I think we did. I think now they're having I think I heard Judge Gonzalez mention that they have some court cases coming up, I guess, here soon, so. December 17th? Okay,
have those that left the secondary, are they accounted for? Like, have they all been found?
All of them have been accounted for. I think we might have one or two that
Just
aren't.
a little
Yeah, it's minimal. Yeah.
And are they
Yes, sir.
going to school, homeschool, sir, or other districts?
We have nearly 30% going to homeschool, and we have some going to neighboring districts. We have just a small amount that went out of state, pretty small. But yes, sir.
And sir, just to be clear, if it's before 10, they're still accounted for on the campus, correct?
I'm
It's
sorry.
after 10 o'clock is when they'll be considered absent, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Whatever our attendance time is, yes.
Okay, and then do they have to stay the entire day to be able to be considered to,
Well, technically, if they're in the ADA period, they're here, we're going to collect ADA. So they're here during the attendance period and they leave, we collected the ADA, right? But I think the most important, especially at secondary, is to make, they need to be here in every class. So if they miss those classes, we're still going to file on them if they miss those classes, not just the ADA period.
Considered an absence for every class.
right, yeah, because I know that it used to be that you were, as long as you were there until so much time that you would still be considered the whole day. Now it's kind of like
Well,
at the
it's,
elementary.
or really the elementaries is what it is, I believe, but I know that, that's what he was saying. You still
Yeah.
get your ADA, so
Right.
technically you were here. But yeah, as soon as I guess you get to the secondary level,
Yeah.
each class
that's
is
another
counted as
thing.
a.
And as far as the safety issue, sir, we are still following it, everything should be good now, because I know that I've heard still some concerns as far as what has happened, previously.
I think we're in a good place safety-wise, and we're going to do a little safety deep dive in closed session for sure. But to your point with attendance, I do want to emphasize something that the principal's done a great job, our principals, in just, emphasizing the importance of being here, importance of being on time, trying to minimize the early pickups, which is a challenge because you pick up early, you miss learning time, right? We exist here so you can bring your child at on time 8 o'clock and leave at 3:30 and just be saturated with learning all day, right? So there are some challenges there with that we deal with, but I'm really excited that the principals keep just really focusing on making those phone calls, making sure that our kiddos are here and learning.
And have we reached out to any of them that have been now homeschooling or anything like that to see if there's any interest in coming back to the public?
I don't know that we've done any outreach on if you've withdrawn your kid and calling you back, hey, is it not going well? Do you want to come back? I don't know that we've done any of that. But I know that Mrs. Alejandro and I are working up a really robust campaign about attendance and about literacy. In fact, we have a meeting with a big company this week that wants to support philanthropically our efforts around literacy and attendance. And that's this Thursday. But yeah, we're doing some community outreach. We are definitely.
If you need me, I'll be there.
Okay, I will, thank you.
Mr. Velasco, you were gonna say something?
Right,
No, we're just talking about the early checkouts. So at the elementary, we're working hard.
Yeah.
We're pursuing truancy for parts of days, and that's something that we're telling our parents. Yes, your child will be here during our attendance time for the state, but when you pick them up at 1 o'clock, at 12, at 3, if there's not a really good reason, we follow on that too.
So are we doing that? I remember at one of our previous meetings, Dr. Puig told me we weren't doing that,
We're doing what?
the part of day. I remember I had asked for that. So, I mean, I was just asking because I had been approached by a parent. I don't know if you remember that question, Mr. Mesa. And I remember I asked, and you said, I don't think we're filing on part of day.
Well, we're looking, it depends on how much, if it's
Okay.
like 10, 15 minutes, but if it's like an everyday thing,
Okay.
hour, 2 hours, that adds up within a week.
Okay,
And we have a conversation with the parents based on that.
okay. I mean, I understand if it's excessive, but, when I was approached on that, I asked here and it wasn't, but, okay. That clarifies it, yeah, if it's an excessive amount, but, okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Madam President.
Next item on the agenda, presentation informational items. Dr. Puig?
Thank you, Madam President. Trustees, at this time, I'd like to invite up the T&L team to talk a little bit about an academic update, invite HR to talk a little bit about TIA and all the good stuff that's happening today with that, actually.
So I think you have the clicker, right?
Oh, I have the phone, okay. There you go, it's on. I got Got it?
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Puig. We'll be giving a riveting update on all academic teaching and learning, and then of course we'll have a TIA update today as well. Of course, everything in teaching and learning always rooted between our vision, mission, and core values for the district. And talking about how we're doing with the strategic plan, our 4 pillars of teaching and learning. Of course, Tier 1 instruction, PLC, learning walks, and coaching, and really seeing how we're investing and building capacity within our leaders and teachers in response to the 4 pillars, right? How we're continuing with building capacity for our leaders and also our leaders on the campuses with our IoTs is still with NIET with our consultant Robert Stell, and how we're doing that. Of course, we did meet again with Robert Stell and the principals. How we're doing on IoTs, PLCs. We've created a framework of how we're going to build our agendas for PLCs, how we're building our agendas for IoTs. And how we're supporting teachers to become better leaders on the campuses too, and to be stewards of that learning on the campuses. Just today, we got some feedback from some of the principals when we did some implementation walks at the elementary level and seeing about how instruction is improving in response to PLCs. And our principals are stating that the PLC process is really taking off. It's improving the practice in the classrooms, and the teachers are taking to it. So just to show you that the work that we're doing with IoT and our PLCs, with learning walks, and how we respond to that, we're doing really well. With learning walks as well, we do have some walks tomorrow with the ESC. We have our folks from the Service Center with School Improvement going to be visiting our Lots Beach Leadership Academy on tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, they'll be at Robert Driscoll. Ms. Padilla has been getting ready. If you want to share any thoughts on tomorrow's visits, Ms. Padilla? Yeah.
Good evening, Madam President, Dr. Puig, members of the board. We're very excited about tomorrow's visit. We have everything ready for the visit. We have our schedules, and our teachers have been preparing, and we have our room ready, and we're really excited to showcase all the great work that the teachers and the students have been doing. So what are we working on? We're working on the 4 pillars, which is Tier 1 instruction before anything else. We're working on our PLCs. We're working on our coaching pieces and our learning walks, and that's daily, every day. I know Dr. Puig meets with us on a weekly basis, and he's always asking about coaching, and it's like we coach every day, every moment that we find, we are coaching. And Robert Stell work, immediately after the training, we moved forward with the new expectations. And I know that has been shared with Mr. Garcia and Dr. Puig, and they have given us feedback. And I have to say that it's going so well. It's like, oh my God, to see the teachers. Like the first one was rolling out the internalization process. So then we asked them to bring artifacts of internalization. It was amazing because the teachers brought evidence of internalization, and within that meeting, the teachers themselves said, you know what? They looked at their artifacts and, they were fighting for it because it's like, I like that one. I like this one. And themselves, they said, you know what? We need a form. We really need a form so that we can stay organized. You should see pre-K's, Ms. Cotina's, she did a math one, she did a reading one, then she did a center, her and Mrs. Guerrero, where they're planning out their centers because they want to be intentional, aligned with the CLI data. So they want to be very intentional with their centers to make sure that instruction is being improved. And then for the other grades, the team nominated or volunteered Ms. Kayla Orona. And let me tell you, Kayla went to town. She did, Ms. Padilla, I was talking to the teachers, and some like one form and others like, other process. So I went ahead and she did like about 4 or 5 forms. And she's like, that way the teachers can choose, and if they want to, they can go ahead and adjust it. But I mean, I mean, I was just so excited. I had to like right away screenshot to Dr. Puig. It's like, look, and to Josh, amazing work. And on tomorrow's visit, the teachers will be sharing that. I told them I was so excited and so proud of them because that's a big step. And so they'll be sharing with the ESC tomorrow. So we're really, really excited because, you know, it's like Dr. Puig and research states, if we improve Tier 1 instruction, how do we improve Tier 1 instruction? By internalizing each and every day. And our teachers internalize every day. We have just redone our schedule, and they know where to go, and they come. It's like already automatic, and they work together. They collaborate with one another. It's amazing, the work that is happening. Just on Friday, Josh came by to meet with me about the visit, and here comes Ms. Cortez. And she was talking, about 2.1 this week. We talked about 2.1 achieving expectations, and we looked at it and we were rating and we were using the rubric. And Josh was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it! The language, the terminology, what they're talking about, they're internalizing even the rubric." So amazing, great things. I can go on and on. You know, I'm so excited, you know, for our teachers, and I'm so excited about our kids. And right now, our campus is starting to look like Christmas. So stop on by and visit us. We're the Leopards. So come on by and visit the great things that are happening at our campus. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Padilla. So yes, for tomorrow's walks, of course, whenever the service center comes for your school improvement, anything like that, they're going to be looking for, do we have, you know, an HQIM, an adopted curriculum? Of course, that's what they're looking for. And then are we using the HQIM, the Blue Bonnet or the Amplify? And that's what they're really looking for. And then also how we're doing on our strategic plan, on our turnaround plan. And those are the pieces that Ms. Padilla is talking about that we're going to showcase tomorrow. And just to really emphasize, the work within IET that we're doing is building capacity not only with us district leaders, campus leaders, but also the leaders on her campus, on all the different campuses. And that is going to be highlighted tomorrow in our visit with ESC, is to show that we are also building capacity with our teachers to become leaders, to become the next assistant principal, to become the next principal. And that's going to be highlighted tomorrow, because that's what truly is happening in those ILTs and PLCs, is we are building the next leaders in those ILTs. So that's going to be showcased tomorrow. Moving forward to our core business with ESC2 is how we're going to improve literacy, right? We did form the literacy team last year, the literacy leadership team, I should say. But now we're going to look at a focal point in early literacy, right, to build upon the literacy team. So we did have ESC come out, Miss Amy Chase, who is very rooted in early literacy, who is going to help us reform this new initiative with early literacy to couple the literacy leadership team that we've already formulated. And I'm going to have Mr. Velasco come up here to showcase, because it was the elementary teacher, the elementary principals that went through this training with Amy Chase, and this is going to be an initiative that we're also going to roll out too.
Thank you, Josh. Good evening, Board President, Madam President, School Board, and Dr. Puig. So we met together and we talked about what needed to happen at the elementary level, especially in their primary grades. One of the things that we're seeing is our kiddos need to have that language oral development in order to become, better readers and writers, because that's how it all starts in any language. First you listen to it, then you speak it, then you read it, then you write it. And sometimes we're trying to get them to read and write without having the other areas. We need to strengthen those up. So, our main concern is to make sure that our kiddos are not only what they're understanding, but what they're speaking. So we're really trying to push oral language development with our young ones. We talked about, what are the visible learning that we see for both the teachers and the students in our campuses. And one of the things that we wanted to use are, Hattie has some certain things that we can use in the classroom that will give us the biggest bang for our buck. And one is vocabulary development. Another one is having lots of talking happening within the classroom, not just the teacher speaking as a sage on stage, but actually letting the students converse. So that's something that we're
we're pushing for across, of course, collective teacher efficacy. Our teachers have to believe that they can do the job with our kids, and they are doing that. Today we had, Josh and great minds on our campus today, and you could see the teachers were really internalizing the lessons in every classroom that we visited, and the kids were having the conversations and really, having that struggle, that productive struggle that we seek. So we're happy about that, what's happening. So as a group, we came together like, well, what's our belief that we want for our kiddos? So we're gonna come back. Is it next week when we come back? To go to the next step. It's enlightening, but we're able to speak to each other and really tell her, these are the needs that we see for our kids in Robstown ISD, and I think it's going to be something good for us in the long run. We just need to stick with it, really stick with it, and have that vision of what we expect a child coming out of our pre-K, kindergarten, first, second grade classes, moving into the tested areas. What are the expectations that we have for those kids?
Yeah, so we're really excited about our work with Amy Chase and her team and the early literacy because, in that training, it was very eye-opening to us as leaders too, as what are the components that we need to work on to help support early literacy. And so there was a moment in time where Ms. Chase asked us, like, what do you know about this? What do you know about that? And we were able to reflect and say, if we're going to support early literacy, we also need to build capacity within ourselves with what early literacy is. So we're really excited with the work that we're going to start with ESC2 with early literacy and the leadership, the literacy team amongst the elementary principals, and then also the district literacy team. And I think it's all rooted in the early levels, right? The early literacy level. So that's what we're building on for that. Dr. Pugh, you want to add anything?
Yeah, let me just double click on something or zoom in, whatever you want to call it. One thing that you said, and that is, we are being very, very vulnerable here with Ms. Chase. Mm-hmm. She literally gave us a survey. Questions. What do you know about this as it pertains to literacy? What do you know about that as it pertains? Am I correct?
That's correct, sir.
And we had to grade ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
People that have been doing this, there's probably 200 collective years of experience in the room, right? We know it all. We don't know anything. All we know is we know nothing, as Socrates said. So we're very, very vulnerable because if we're going to really be impactful, we have to keep honing our craft. It's just like Ms. Cisneros and I talking about finance. We're taking courses in this, aren't we? So to Mr. Velasco's point, he said something. We have to stick with it. You win the war on literacy in the early grades. Pre-K2. You set that foundation there. They are set to grow up to become Lori Garza someday, Eric Gallegos someday, Mr. Cantu someday, Ms. Villalobos someday, Maestro Martinez someday, Mr. Marroquin someday, Mr. Mesa someday. That's what we are striving to do. So it was a very seminal moment. Mm-hmm. We were all very vulnerable there. I was like, oh God, no, 0, 1, So yes, I appreciate you really zooming in on that point. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yes. And that is the update for us. We have TA Ms. Silvas.
Josh, I have a few questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Before Ms. Silvas comes up. On our staff, as far as our core subjects, are we fully staffed with full-time teachers at all campuses? Or
to my knowledge, Ms. Silvas, are we? No.
No. Do you know where we're lacking? What campuses, or is it secondary, elementary?
We're completely staffed at the elementary level. At Seal Junior High, we have a language arts vacancy. And at the high school, we have an ag vacancy which has been filled, and that teacher will start at the end of January.
Okay.
Our teacher vacancy will be at Seal Junior High.
Okay. And, so I had I guess I think I say for Josh, but I had mentioned this to Dr. Puig, but I guess this is the time to ask, right? Because it's academics. But sir, on our conversation that we had previously on robotics, do we know, or maybe Ms. Trevino can answer this, but I had seen on Facebook, were our students invited, or did they attend that engineering program in Kingsville that happened recently?
I'm not aware that they attended that. Mr. Trevino, I don't know.
Were they invited at all, or do we know?
An invitation did not come across my desk, no, sir.
Okay. Because previously, we had spoken to Dr. Puig about the robotics team. I know that, right now, Dr. Puig said there was kind of like a transition kind of thing going on.
It is. It takes somebody unique to be able to,
Want to come up to the, please, Mr. Trevino.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
robotics, and due to, our teacher resigning, and us not able to fill that vacancy, we weren't able to offer robotics.
See, and that was my reason also for the question on the if they got invited to that, because I know that our teacher then now works in that department. So I was just curious if maybe they had reached out to invite our kids, or I don't know how that works, if they have to just submit or they get invited, or
They usually go through the dean, of engineering, and he'll reach out to me, or anytime that they need our students. Like, they just reached out to us because they want to give one of our students a scholarship.
Oh,
So we're
nice.
working out the logistics through that, but yes.
And I know Dr. Puig had mentioned, it's kind of like you said, we're going to a transition period, but what exact are the requirements, or, so I know it needs somebody special, right, for that position?
Yeah,
but,
you have to have your engineering background. It's really simple for you to be able to say, oh, I'm going to go do a robotics club. I mean, Rachel can testify to that. It really is somebody with that math and science background that has done either mechanical engineering or some type of civil engineering, anything having to do with engineering.
Because I know I would assume that there's still kids who are interested in this.
There are some kids.
Are we on the campus at least, or somehow exposing the kids to things that are still related to this at some point?
Well, we kind of filtered them into instrumentation and other areas of, industry in that way.
Okay. I just want to kind of make sure that we're not like completely phasing it out. Like, there's no teacher, we're no longer going to do this. Because I know there was a
No.
specific classroom for that.
There was.
Is it still there? I mean, like, if we hire somebody tomorrow, they'll go in there and it's ready? Or-
We've already, Mr. Portillo, I took Dr. Puig through a walkthrough there. We cleaned it out. Mr. Lawver did a great job going in there and helping us clean it out, open it up. Right now, we're using it for AgMech, at this time.
So all that equipment, we just have it somewhere? Because there was
We stored it. Mr. Portillo stored it.
Okay. So
Are we physically looking for an ag teacher? I'm sorry, a robotics teacher, sir?
Well, we don't need a full FTE for robotics teacher. I think the course demand might have been 20 to 25.
Yeah, we
So maybe-
actually had 2 periods that it actually, because our former teacher taught math most of the day, and then we were equivalent to having maybe 2 classes of robotics with maybe 12 to 15 kids in each one, which was our 7th and 8th period. But the demand to have a full blown was never there. It was,
Can we
it was
outsource
just 2
that, sir?
sections.
Outsource.
Like hire somebody from Del Mar. or
like for
something.
like an after-school thing, can we do something like after
We can
school?
definitely do after school, but are you talking about
Hiring somebody just for the.
like a
for the-
DOI?
for
Like
the
a,
2 periods or
well,
whatever.
We can definitely hire people part-time, but again, the certification challenge
Yeah, yeah.
that we're now faced,
It's
But yeah, part-time, yeah, we
got
can.
Retired engineers.
You know
that-
somebody?
Maybe.
I'm looking at you.
I mean, yeah,
Maybe.
I just want to, I just felt like, our kids went and presented I told Dr. Puig, they went and presented to the state, and people were actually like, look at what Robson is doing in robotics. And then it's like next year, and I understand that we're left in a, unfortunate situation that the teacher left, but now it's like,
And we did market it. I mean, we did put it out just like any kind of other sponsor, when we're looking for, whether it's a class sponsor, dance sponsor, cheer sponsor, we always put it out, among the campus, employees. And if it doesn't, Dr. Puig and I will discuss opening it up district-wide. Is there anybody interested in, doing a robotics club or doing, and there was no interest. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want us to be discouraged by that.
No.
We've got,
yeah, not be discouraged.
Yeah,
but
and,
I just,
and I'm not saying you're discouraged either.
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
anybody, I know you're not. But it is a transition period right now, and I know we'll be prepared to pivot when we need to. And it is the future, and it's not just STEM, it's artificial intelligence is the next wave. We need to be prepared to do some offerings around that, right, Mr. Gallegos?
Yeah. And let me tell you, we pivot. I pivot all the time, so if it's something that it's manageable and we can do it, we will do it.
Okay.
Mr. Martinez brought this up to me, and he's speaking for the kids, the ones that don't have the voice here today. So I was thankful that he brought it up. I, for one, was very upset when I heard that the room was repurposed. I mean, there's kids that have that interest. So I hope that we don't pivot. I hope that we're still seeking somebody right now. So for example, not to get really in the weeds, because that's your area, sir, but when we needed help, Mr. Portillo stepped in. Am I right? Is he doing several things right now to just keep the kids interested and keep them going? So I mean, it's heartening, it's disheartening that nobody stepped up to the plate. I know everybody's plates are full, but I hope that it's not something that we pivot to. I hope we're still actively looking for somebody, because there are kids that have that interest. And they're gonna be our future engineers and our future doctors, and they may be my boss one day. That's it. We just wanted to throw the concern
Yeah.
out there because, we do have, I mean, a couple of parents have reached out to me, but I'm, all I asked was to forward, send them to Dr.
And I would love to
Quinn.
have a conversation. I have yet to have a parent come to me, but, I know that y'all hear it first, but please let them come and sit down with me and Mr. Portillo. We'd love to hear what they have to say. If there's anything that we can help facilitate on our campus, or, if there's other, resources that we can put in their hands when it comes to, our partnership with Texas A&M, so there's a lot of things that we can explore for sure.
Yeah, because maybe I was thinking, because when I was told that about the right now there wasn't a class, I was not aware that we didn't have a class at all. And then I asked Dr. Puig, and he told me about what was going on.
Yeah.
And that immediately I saw on Facebook, so that immediately kind of triggered, like, our ex-employee is now at the A&M campus in that department. Maybe just like we do with Del Mar with welding, I don't know if that's an option, kind of get a partnership with Texas A&M, and I don't know how that works, but it just kept me, there are some kids who are interested in that. So I just want to ensure that we're doing our due diligence and
I hope
trying to
that we're
keep
still
that going.
interested.
That we're still, us are invested still in that as much as those kids want to be.
And for sure, we're registering for next year, so the interest surveys are gonna go out, so we can really have a good picture on whether or not kids are still interested, or how many are still interested, because we're gearing up, we're already planning for next year. So we start registration in January, and kids will start filling out their interest survey, so we can have a better picture if indeed there is a large number, or how many are still actually interested in pursuing that.
Do we have an area where we would put them if we get an interest?
Yeah, for sure. That area, Ms. Garza, is huge, right, Mr. Lover? It really could encompass both ag mech and robotics.
It's
'cause
a flexible space.
Yeah, it's a big classroom, and then it's a big workshop area. So it really could manage both. It really can.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. That
Okay,
was it.
you're welcome.
I appreciate it.
All right. Okay.
Good evening, Madam President, Dr. Puig, members of the board. Here we are with our journey, which continues, and it's still a straight road. Now, come January, February, that might get a little bumpy. But during the month of November and December, of course, our teachers and campus administrators gained access to their TIA data dashboards. Their dashboards consist of the students that are on their rosters, along with the data that they have, the students have from last year, how they scored on their assessments. That way they can get a better understanding where they're at. And then as soon as we have some data for middle of the year, we'll key that data in, and they can see the growth that their students are having. Of course, we will go back to the campuses again and meet with our teachers once that's there. But at least our teachers have access to their data already. Then, of course, today, we had a morning session and an afternoon session with our rural cohort, and we participated. Miss Cisneros was able to join us this morning. There was a session specifically on the spending plan. So we will be working on our spending plan, and we participated in that session. It was very exciting to see that during the session that was being presented, they highlighted Robstown ISD, and we took a snippet there because they highlighted our handbook. They shared it as a sample. So that was really nice to see that that others could see the work that our team has put forth into it. So we wanted to just snip it and share with you all those good news. But we did receive some guidance of things and steps that we need to partake in as we move forward with the spending plan. Of course, we have 56 teachers that are eligible this school year. And then that took us to our afternoon session, and our principals came in the afternoon. And we were looking at focusing on SKU data analysis, really taking a look at our data as to when we observe teachers and making sure that that data is aligned. We will be meeting again with the service center on January the 14th. The campuses will meet a deadline of January 9th and key in all the data that they have up to this point. Then we'll run an analysis, and we'll take a look to see where we're at that point in the middle of the year to see if we are aligned or not. And if we're not, then the steps that we need to take as we move forward for the second semester. We will be meeting with our TIA committee. We'll bring forth that information to you in January. We'll be meeting. We have a deadline of March the 17th to submit our application again for phase 2 for year 2, and share with the committee and with the board the new teachers, courses that will be brought into phase 2 of this journey. We are looking, we shared with principals today, received input from them as to what we need to do, who should continue based on assessments that we have. So that's exciting. That's where the road will get bumpy again as we start working on our application. Application is due to the state April the 15th. It's due to the cohort on March 17th. So of course, we will have that done ahead of time, making sure that we're ready to go. But it is exciting. The journey continues, and be ready for the bumpy road ahead.
I'm sure it'll be a lot easier right now that we've already gotten the major legwork done. Or, I mean, I would assume.
Eric?
My question was going to be, you say application again.
Never
Make
mind.
sure that every number is correct. You gotta make sure it's correlated. You gotta make sure it's all kinds of stuff.
The application part is easy.
Yes, that's not an issue.
So the
Yes.
bumpy roads
The
on the
bumpy
easy
road is
part
gonna
was,
be on
now
the-
these are going to be,
It's gonna be
It's the
circles
data.
now.
We did participate in a Zoom.
easier now, right?
I was under the impression, now that
You need 1 hour?
we've done the legwork here, now let's,
A little bit.
Eric, go ahead.
I did forget, because we did participate in a Zoom last week. We did, about expansion, and we failed to include that, and that's, they reviewed the new application process. That's not gonna be difficult at all, adding what we need to add and making those, those changes. It is the data, it's keeping up and keying in the data, and then reviewing it for accuracy. That's the biggie.
now I see it, okay.
It's,
I'm very intrigued with this. I
Next.
really,
pardon?
Are we in collection this year?
No, yes.
We're in data capture.
Data capture, mhm.
So that's gonna be the, I would say hard, I guess, to see is because it's gonna be like 1, 2 points or growth measure that's gonna make or break a teacher or
okay.
a district, because if we have any kind of skew, then nobody.
Nobody.
So now the real
qualifies.
fun is what you're basically saying. Okay.
And I think
Okay,
that's
that makes
what's
sense.
what's so important about the January 9th deadline for campuses, and most of them have already keyed in their evaluations, their observations. Of course, not everyone's conducted all their evaluations, but those that we have up to now, it's important to take a look at those. And those walkthroughs that have been conducted, for us to take a look at that. And then we're gonna run SKU data analysis to see where we're at. And if we're not aligned, then that's not okay, but it's okay because then we have an opportunity to work for the second semester in making sure that we are on target and that we are aligned. Because what we don't want to happen is that we go through all this and at the very end, our data does not get validated.
Okay.
And that's what we're trying to avoid. So kudos to our administrators, our principals, campus
sure.
administrators, for really working hard in calibrating, in going into each other's classrooms and making sure that we're aligned. So, but yeah, it will get bumpy, but it's okay. It's exciting and it's fun. Any other questions?
I don't know if this pertains to you, Mr. Silva, but where are we with Century 21, sir?
21st century.
So
I mean,
we,
21st century, I'm sorry, Century
I thought you were talking about the
21.
property we had for sale.
I saw it on here,
So-
and that's why I said it.
The grant is open, and we have a meeting on Monday to discuss our programming. We've got a committee set up to submit the grant. Dr. Madrano submitted the letter of intent today, so we're ready to move forward.
Okay.
Does it look promising? Or you just don't know?
But we don't have any clue right now.
It's a heftier grant that we're gonna tackle.
Okay.
We want data to support our decision and yes, it goes more in depth, but we have experience writing grants,
Perfect.
so we'll tackle it.
'Cause I know
Thank you,
we
man.
started talking about this last year.
Yes, sir. It just opened up, so we're ready to go. We have a committee that's hungry, and we're going to put our best foot forward on this one for sure.
And is that still a 5-year term? Or a 5-year grant that they do? 3 years now?
I think it's 3 now.
Okay.
Cause last time we had it, we reapplied, so we got 2 cycles back to back. I think that's why we had it for 5 years, if I remember correctly.
Well, I know that we've had several, because I know that when I came on board for the 2 years, it was both 5-year terms.
It was a 5-year grant.
So, a 5-year grant, I'm
There
sorry, I
have
said
been
term,
5-year
but 5-year grant. But that's my reasoning behind that, if it was still that 5-year or, if, because I think every year I'm sorry, ma'am. I think every year the money would you would get less every year, but it was through a 5-year period. Mhm. We're gonna get you a pave maker, man, so you can drive it down that bumpy road, ma'am.
We're gonna have to call Rambro to help us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Dr. Quigg, next item, are we finished with that one?
Yes,
M&O
ma'am.
update.
Thank you, Madam President. Let's invite Mr. Lawver up. Just a quick overview, Mr. Lawver, and what exciting things we have coming and going with M&O.
Good evening, Madam President, Dr. Puig, and you jolly board members. Y'all look sharp. Quick M&O update. Pest control, we have done our second round. We completed it the last 2 weeks. We've completed our second round of pest control, which is good. I will tell you, do not be alarmed here, but there has been a little bit of an increase on mice on this building, but we are attacking it, and now it's not so bad. The weather's changing. I think they're looking for some warmer spots, but we're setting up some stuff, and we've caught a few already. But we are addressing it. But pest control is complete. Our energy management plan is coming to fruition, right? We're getting that put together pretty well, identifying some of the members that are going to be on that team, some of the jobs that they're going to be doing, some of the systems that we have, some of the protocols and procedures that we will be doing for that plan. So we will be finalizing that pretty quick.
Sir, when you do pest control, throughout the year, how many times do you do it? Do they come out?
4 times a year, sir.
And throughout the 4 times of the year, do they continue to do the concession stands at the
Yes, sir.
football field?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just to make sure.
And they also come out if we see an
we see anything
increase
else.
or something that
Okay.
that we feel they can come back out, and they come back out. They're really good, local company. So
Nice. Okay.
It's funny that you mentioned mice, because my little boy, he's in pre-K 4, and he goes, I saw Charlie in the class. Who's Charlie? He named the mice that runs around in the classroom.
Oh, lot speech.
That's a nice name.
Yeah. They had a little bit of an increase, so we've taken them some stickies, and but we are trying to address them.
I live in that area, so the field's wide open.
That's cruel, right?
Yeah.
But it was just, we saw Charlie. I'm like,
Well, it's good he's not scared,
Charlie,
Yeah.
little mouse. I was like,
Don't bring him
stay
home.
away from Charlie.
Don't bring Charlie home.
Yeah.
Was
he?
He told me-
Oh, he's gone, sir.
He told me, he goes, Mr. Dudley caught Charlie, but I didn't believe him, but I don't know how true that was. I just, okay.
Was it a sticky? One of the stickies, yeah.
So I'll tell when I get home, you're gonna see Charlie. Don't
I don't tell him that, sir.
Está pegado.
What did you say about the light?
The what, sir?
About the light bill or the
Oh, it's just the energy, the plan we're finalizing.
central lighting?
Oh, yeah.
We're still paying on that, I think.
And then
I think we're still
honestly,
paying on that.
we are doing a lot of preventive
I'm sorry.
maintenance, a lot of filter changes. The buses, with this break going on, we have to have a plan in place because unfortunately, we still have to, if it gets pretty cold, we still have to come in and turn buses on for a little bit because the last thing we want is first day of school, we come back and a lot of the batteries, aren't charged. So we're doing a bunch of those types of stuff. We're changing filters out, marking dates, making sure we're doing quarterly. The guys have done a fantastic job of more record keeping. So I could easily ask them, hey, when's the last time? And they mark it on the filter. It's pretty marked, very identifiable, but they keep a good track of it. So our crew's done a pretty good job of that. Other than that, we're really just preparing for this next, the change of the weather, making sure, heaters work, making sure, our guys are taught, heat injuries, cold weather injuries. I kind of did some training on that for them because they're going to be exposed to some cold weather stuff. It's a lot of preventive maintenance going on right now, but that saves us money, and it just prepares us for anything that may come up.
I just want to emphasize how much I appreciate, Mr. Lawver, the PM, the preventive maintenance, and then also the energy management plan. We can simply save 5 to 10% on our bottom line if we just start turning off lights and are mindful about zones and putting all of those management protocols in
You
place.
set
Looking forward to that.
ACs,
That's it.
Yeah, temperature. When we're going to be gone for a while, set the temperature up a little higher so they don't just run lights out. So, good deal.
Hopefully we can see a difference in the.
Hope so, sir.
So that, going back to that, then you mentioned energy. So I think in January, I think is when I'll submit the report on a quarterly report for the Ortiz campus to see how much we've saved as far as our energy on that campus there and our light bill. That's something Mr. Marroquin's always addressing.
I'll be curious to see that as well.
Yeah, because I think it was Dr. Puig, I mentioned every quarter or like a quarterly report. So I think in January is when the report was going to be submitted. So if I need to submit anything, sir, officially on a report, then I'll be more than glad to do that.
Any chance to get $2 million?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Lawver. Next item, list of bills are in your packet for your review. If you guys have any questions, please email Dr. Puig. Sir, you want to add anything on list of bills?
No, but just emphasize what you said. Please send me a note.
Next item, financial statement report. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
No, I think I covered it pretty well, but any questions y'all may have about it, this is the update.
Can you turn on your mic, sir?
Yes, please, any additional questions you may have about the report?
So I just had a quick question, and I assume I'd like to speak right in the right portion of the agenda, but I'm going back to finances. Sir, I noticed, I'm looking at the vacancies here that we have for our district. I noticed none of our campuses have a parents and involvement liaison.
Right.
Is there a reason for that? And are we not going to hire any? Are we not going to,
So Mr. Sanchez has taken that on primarily, yeah. And we haven't really seen a whole lot of return with our, having a full staff of PIs, even talking to the principals. Mr. Vina, you want to speak briefly about your PI situation? So trying to be real strategic about our staff. Does it make sense, right? Not just to have it,
So, I'm going to attest to that because I agree. High school, being in that position, it's very hard.
Yeah.
Also, the junior high, very hard. But at the same time, sir, it's kind of, I know that the liaisons are very instrumental to, especially our elementary campuses, having been in that field. And even now more so, I feel like we should try to encourage our parents to be involved. I don't know how that program is now, if anything's changed in regards to the requirements. I know that when I was there as a liaison, we were required on the campus to have a monthly report, to have our classes per Title I. The liaison was in charge of that. who's in charge of doing that now at the campus level?
The principal.
On top of everything else that they have to do, they're having to do that as well.
Well, what
Yes, sir.
happened to the ones that were there? Like
Well,
Ms.
some of
Blair?
them, one of them moved, I know, and maybe they moved to another position, but my thing is, and you said the principals, we're already expecting so much out of them.
Yes, sir.
And we're adding this on top of that. Now, who do they report to as far as the parents? I mean, they're keeping track of their hours. Who do they give that to? How are we keeping track? And who's gonna be the one doing all the documentation that we're doing this on campus? The parents have this many hours. Because I'm assuming we still have to submit something to the state or to the feds as far as this is what it is. So district level, I understand that maybe Mr. Sanchez can do that at a district level. But at a campus level, we're having our principals do that as well on top of everything else.
Well, as a principal myself, the principal has always led.
Well,
our
I understand
involvement.
that, sir.
And
but
so
giving them more
it's not,
duties
it's
when-
not uncommon. No, it's a duty that a principal always does. Now, it's great to have that extra layer when you can have it, right? But the main thing is that being impactful? Is it being impactful on what a parent liaison is supposed to be doing? So we've taken a step back from that this year and said, okay, we haven't quite seen the level of involvement that we would need or want out of a traditional PI. So let's step back and let's see what can we do if we're leading it on the campus, the CEO of the campus being the principal, with support directly from Mr. Sanchez to kind of grow that.
I remember this conversation coming up a while back, and I remember you telling us that we wanted to have a liaison at the campus. Right?
Yeah, I mean, we have to really evaluate every position. Like, are we getting the ROI, the return of investment on every position? Because in theory, it sounds great, right? It sounds great. We got a parent liaison every, wow, it sounds great.
And I think that person would be the bridge, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's what's called liaison. You're right, yeah.
So,
Mhm.
I mean, at that point, like, now we're wanting to get parents involved because so I'm gonna be honest, sir, I've attended SHAC meetings, and now that there's no liaison, even these SHAC meetings that used to be 40, 50, 60 people, is almost none. And the reason being because the liaison would invite their parents, come with me. I know that it was a requirement that they would be there, and there was more involvement. I feel that, especially at the elementary level, that maybe, you know, we need to put different expectations or whatever the case may be, but I feel that those people are very instrumental to the campuses in bringing them. At the junior high, that's where I was, very hard, sir. I still had many parents there, but it's a struggle. The high school, I can imagine there would be almost no participation because at that age, you know, but having the parents more involved at the elementary, I think will help us as a district as they get older, you know. I just, you know, and the reason I brought up finance in the finance statement, because, you know, when we approve the budget, that's within the budget already, those positions. I just want to, so moving forward, is it something you could look into, or are we just not going to do it next
No,
year?
we've looked into all staffing. So every single position is being looked at. That's why we did the staffing study. We can do anything, we can't do everything, right? And that's not a value judgment, but again, it is a function of two, do we have the resources, and what resources do we have? Can we allocate them directly to what's going to impact instruction? Does that make sense?
Right.
And that means I got to take on extra duties, like I've done. We've reduced staff central office. I'm doing more things, fine with me. I have to because the budget has put us in that situation. It's not a value judgment that's saying they're not important. Very important. It's a wonderful thing to have, right? But at the same time, we have to be mindful of what do we have, what can we afford? And if we don't have the money to do it, okay, how do we still get it done, right? How do we still find a way to get that involvement? And that's where the principals come in their teams.
And that neighboring district up the street also did away with theirs. We have a district liaison.
Get away with theirs?
Yeah, all the campuses only have one for the entire district. I don't know if it's just, again, like you said, it's just overworking all staffing, and not that they're not important, but you can hire.
I was just
you can
curious.
hire a teacher in place of.
Yeah, I was just curious as far, you
that's
know,
a good question.
at the district, at the campus level, who was doing those,
The
I mean, reports and the, you know, the requirements that need to be done to the state and keeping track of parent hours or, you know, whatever the case may be. And you know, and being in that position, that's what drew my attention, because I noticed at every campus, there wasn't one. And then I looked at our vacancies and I saw that we were not advertising for that either. So, I mean, if it's something that needs to be done, okay, but I was just inquiring on that because it was something that caught my attention.
Any other questions regarding financial statements? Next item on the agenda, I'm sorry, one more, sir. How many months of fund balance do we have?
4.4.
4.4, okay. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, consent agenda items. Trustees? First by Mr. Marukin, second by Mr. Mesa.
Okay, I have a question. Dr. Puig, on the item C, the approval for low attendance waiver, can you explain for the people for the viewers as to what that is and what day you're gonna ask for that?
So the Friday before we went on vacation, we had very low attendance, 44%. And so 44. And typically when we have a low attendance day, we submit that to TEA so they can basically say, okay, that day won't count towards your ADA.
Okay, so.
Because of safety reasons.
Okay, so that's gonna be your
Yes.
reasoning behind that. So what is, let's assume, sir, that, how do they do that? Do they just approve it? Do they not approve? What if they were not to approve it? What, do you know, and I think I had, again, I need to submit a report for that, but do you know how much we'd be hit as far as ADA in regards to that day? Or do we already know, like, this many kids didn't come? So
I know
this is
we
how much-
earned less that day. We would have earned less
Okay.
than normally.
So you don't know how much, or
I don't.
do you
I
know
can
how
look it
much?
up.
Okay, I'll submit for that report on that as well, but,
But definitely would have earned less, obviously, because ADA is lower.
correct.
But I think the main point is this. Can we afford to miss any instructional minutes, even for the 44% that came?
No.
We can't. And so while I understand that day, we knew it was going to be low, right? But we have parents, half of them, that said, I don't want my kids to miss instructional time. So they came. And so we want to make sure that we understand when we do something like that, it's always strategic. It's not just, let's just throw up and cancel the day. But if it's low attendance, then we have to submit it to TEA and provide that documentation. So that's what we're going to do.
I believe Cesar also wants to know, is there a possibility that TA would decline?
Of course.
Yeah.
There is.
Oh, yeah. Always.
So in regards to that, being that,
Yes.
and from my own knowledge too, sir, like, you say you can't miss, how is it, because I know it's all within your authority, correct? Like, yes or no? But if we were to miss, are there minutes? I know it goes by days, but are there minutes where we could have said, you know what, we're gonna, instead of doing this day, we're gonna come this day because we missed? Is that
Oh,
something
there's
we
definitely
can do?
minutes there we could do, but,
So those minutes were, like, if we were to say, we're not gonna come to school because of safety reasons, and I had shared this with you because in the 5 years that I've been in this position, I've never received so many phone calls in a day, or in the 5 years complete. So I called to express my concern. But had it been that you would have canceled school, we still could have had those extra minutes to come on the day.
We had minutes in the balance,
Okay.
but I hope you understand, if we canceled school that day, then you don't get to make up those minutes.
But that's my question.
Yeah.
So we could not have
No.
made them up.
No.
Okay, so that's my question. That was my initial question. But I just want to check, like, if they were to deny this, or I'll submit a report as well, because I would like to see how much lower we were on this day rather.
Yeah, we definitely earned less.
Okay,
Half.
okay.
I have a question. So we have minutes in the bank,
Yes.
but we could not have made up the minutes.
Well, not without having to come up with a day to send kids to school where they didn't have to.
Okay.
Yeah, to be clear.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
basically, putting them on a day that.
So you could have said, rather than getting out on the, I don't know, let's just say 20th of December, you're going to get on the 21st because we have to make up that day. Something like that.
Yeah, you just don't want to send kids unnecessarily to school unless you have to.
Okay,
Also teachers get upset about that.
Yeah, teachers get really, as a teacher myself, yeah.
okay.
Any other questions?
All right, we have a first and a second on consent agenda items. Vote to approve, Ms. Villalobos,
Yay.
Mr. Cantu, Mr. Gallegos, Ms. Garza,
Yes.
myself, aye, Mr. Marroquin, Mr. Mesa. Motion passes.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, action item, discuss and consider approval of selection of a contractor for the Robstown Early College High School Field House and authorize the superintendent to negotiate contract. Dr. Puig.
Thank you, Madam President. Let me pass out the matrix that the committee arrived on Friday night. We had a late night,
Friday night, everybody.
Friday night.
Friday night. And we didn't get fit dinner.
No one knew it would be a 5-hour affair.
I walked in and I said, sir, where's our dinner?
It's like,
knew
I said,
we were
we'll
gonna
be done
there
by
a long
4.
time.
Wait, it's 8 o'clock. Okay, if you look at the top, you have the 4 submitters. I'm sorry, if you look first, the first column are the criteria. We adjusted the criteria, reducing from 6 to 4. There's a description of each criterion and the next criterion. And then you'll see the 4 submitters that brought in the required documentation: MVP piping, Texas, South Texas building, Hellas, Huxfin, you'll see is highlighted in yellow. They didn't have their bid bond, so they were eliminated from the scoring. Cutting to the chase, the 4 submitters that did qualify, you'll see there's a number at the very bottom that totals their points. And you'll see the highest submitter is Hellas, 83.42. At this time, I'd like to invite up Mr. Powell and Mr. Parks from Hellas this time to the podium. Gentlemen, good evening.
Hi, Mr. Powell.
Pleasure to be here again.
Sir, were you also there for 5 hours?
We were not. I was not.
Okay.
I
4.
got dismissed.
4
I got
hours.
2.
So you got a long drive. So we arrived at the process. Here we are. And this has been a journey of over a year. And the board approved the plans back in July, and then we had to go through the process of finding the right person to do this work. It took a few times. Mr. Parks?
Yes, sir.
We're here to recommend Hellas and I to do this project, and the board would authorize the superintendent to negotiate a contract. So I want to invite you to the podium and say, 1, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
And 2, allow Mrs. Garza and the team to ask any questions they may have of Hellas.
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Do you want to say anything? Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well,
Gennaro wants to go
one of
first.
y'all are the committee.
I mean, I don't have very many questions. It's just, I appreciate the fact that you're gonna be using local contractors.
Absolutely.
Uh,
We reached out to a couple of them they were asked to, and working that out as we speak. So by the end of the week, we'll have all that worked out.
Okay.
Who are,
Satisfied with that.
who are these contractors?
It was a plumbing contractor and electrical contractor and a cement contractor that reside in Robstown.
So, Mr. Powell, thank you for all your patience. I know that your services are very expensive, and I just want to thank you for being patient with us. This is the round 3, guys. 3rd time's a charm. Mr. Brian, thank you for continuing to resubmit. That showed your interest in our school district, so I appreciate that. You could go anywhere else. Your time is very valuable, I'm sure, as all of ours is as well. The
Well, I had
trustees.
3 board meetings tonight, and this is where I'm at.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That says a lot. So I appreciate that. Mr. Mesa and Mr. Marukin, thank you guys for just honestly tolerating me. Mr. Powell knows what I'm talking about, question after question. I don't understand. Hear me out. Why? So it really was a team effort. I'm finally glad that we're here. To the rest of the committee, it was hard. It was stressful. This is our kids. This is our money, right? The 2 things that we don't want to fail on, our kids and our money. So I just want to thank everybody, Dr. Puig, for always hearing me out when I asked you to hear me out. Even after the 30th time, hear me out, sir. Thank you. To the rest of the trustees, thank you for trusting us to represent you in our committee. It really was tough. Do you agree? It was tough, but it never stopped. We never stayed away from local contractors. You know, we believe in what we have here. We have quality work, and we just want to give them a chance. That's all. But at the same time, and no better general contractor to work under than Hellas.
Thank you for that
So-
vote of confidence.
Thank you for everybody. I just wanted to say a couple of words. Mr. Mesa, you want to say anything?
Just congratulations, sir. And,
Thank you, sir.
I mean,
We'll do a good job for you.
can't wait to get it started.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
kids already lost out too many. To me, every day they lose out on is just
They're behind.
yes. So again, congratulations, and looking forward to seeing the final product.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
I just want to thank the trustees. I was on the parking lot project, and I did tell Dr. Quigg I would not want to be on one of those committees again. So thank you to the 3 trustees that I know are the voice of the board, and then they can be going back and forth. So that shows that they want the absolute best. Thank you to Hellas for showing interest in helping us, helping our dream come true. Our kids are going to get something good, and great to be a part of that. So thank you, Mr. Powell. Thank you for your work as well. And I have the utmost confidence in our trustees and in Hellas that we're going to get this done, and we're moving in the right direction.
Sorry, I forgot, sir. Thank you also, Mr. Powell, for your dedication, your hard work.
Putting it up with Ms. Garza.
I was gonna say us.
There's a special place in heaven for you, Mr. Powell.
You know,
There is. Thank you. Thank you.
Coming in 3 times. Well, how many times did we go around? Is 3? Coming in 3 times. Reviewing numbers for us, trying to lead us in the right direction. That was gonna give us lead us to the right way, and appreciate you for that. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Mesa's making me sound very obnoxious. Believe him. Okay, everybody.
I think the process was longer than what we anticipated, all in all. But again, it takes time to build something right. So we didn't want to build something that we had to demo. So.
And I'd just like to emphasize more on the appreciation from the board that you're willing to work with our local contractors. That really means a lot, that you're willing to take that step and keep our people and helping them, give back to our kids as well.
Yes, sir.
So
Because
thank you,
it's
sir.
y'all's money, we might as well keep it in the community.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate that.
That's what I say. And you know what? Showcasing our contractors,
Yes, sir.
You might reach out to them for another job or whatever,
Without a doubt.
Dr. Puig?
Just appreciate the hard work. This has been a collective lift. Mr. Vino, you and your team, the athletic department, Mr. Lawver, and those that just hung around and did the design for several months. It was a lot of work, and here we are. So just appreciative too. The trustees don't get paid a dime for this. You don't get a dime.
Not even dinner, guys.
Not even dinner.
I'm going to say that again.
But I did buy her lunch the other day, so don't let her tell you I didn't. I did. But again, the trustees are so committed to this community and this work, and you feel it. Listen to the conversations tonight. Listen to the conversations tonight. They're committed to doing this right with the right people.
Yes, sir.
And that feels good right now. So thank you, gentlemen.
Good brand.
Yeah.
Dr. Puig, recommendation?
So with that, I'd like to recommend that the board approve the selection of Hellas for the Robstown Early College High School field house and authorize the superintendent to negotiate contract.
Trustees, do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
I have a first by Mr. Mesa,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Marukin. Any questions or additional discussion?
We have a first and a second to approve action item A. Ms. Villalobos?
Aye.
Mr. Cantu? Mr. Gallegos?
Aye.
Ms. Garza?
Aye.
Myself, Cesar Martinez, aye. Mr. Marroquin?
Aye.
Mr. Cantu, Mr. Mesa, I'm sorry. Mr. Mesa? Aye. Motion passes. Congratulations, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations. Does he want to say anything? No?
And congratulations to our students.
Thank you, everybody, again. Next item on the agenda, discuss and consider approval of FML student activities. Dr. Puig.
Trustees, this is a 20-year-old policy that I'm sure you read already that basically allows only certain absences to be considered. Our practice is not aligned with this policy, and so FM is here for your consideration to make sure we align with the student absences. Does that make sense? So you were limited previously, UIL, 5 absences a year, 2 for state. But if some of our athletes have made multiple, they've exceeded that absence that's allowed in policy. So this just gives us an alignment between practice and policy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'd like to recommend for your approval.
Trustees, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve action item B as presented in our board packet as the updated version to FM local.
I have a first. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Villalobos.
We have a first and a second to approve action item B. Ms. Villalobos. Ms. Villalobos? No.
Aye.
Mr. Cantu? Mr. Gallegos?
Aye.
Ms. Garza?
Aye.
Aye. Mr.
Aye.
Marroquin? Mr. Mesa? Motion carries.
Next item on the agenda, discuss and consider approval of update 126 affecting the following local board policies: BE, BED, CJ, CJA, CLE, CQB, CQD, CSA, CV, DBD, DEC, DFBB, DGBA, DH, EEP, EFA, EHBAF, EIA, FA, FEF, FFAC, FFB, FFF, FFG, FNG, FO, GF, and GKA. Dr. Puig.
Can you repeat
Elemental P. Elemental P.
This aligns everything with the previous legislative session. So I know we've had already the first reading. Here it is for your consideration and approval. I'd like to recommend as presented from TASB.
Trustees, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
The first by Mr. Martinez, second by Ms. Villalobos.
First and a second, approve action. I'm sorry.
Any
Ms. Garza.
questions or discussion?
I mean, do we know all these locals?
Well, this is actually,
This is the second
this is
reading.
a second reading for, but it's, policy from TASB, so it's not really local, it's more at the state level.
Any other questions or discussion? Go ahead, Mr.
We have a first and a
Martinez.
second to approve action item C. I won't read all of that, but as read by Ms. Garza. Ms. Villalobos?
Aye.
Mr. Cantu? Mr. Gallegos?
Aye.
Ms. Garza?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Marroquin?
Aye.
Mr. Mesa? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Next item, discuss and consider approval of membership in Walsh Gallegos Retainer Program. Dr. Puig.
Thank you, Madam President. Trustees, I'd like to recommend the approval of the membership in the Walsh Gallegos Retainer Program. We used them for many, many years, and they are quite an asset and an augmentation to our general counsel, Mr. Juan Cruz. And they have a really deep bench when it comes to some of the specialization, Mrs. Blanton, particularly with special education.
So how much is the retainer that we give them?
$1,000.
Oh, okay, it's just right here now. That's it. Okay. I'd like to make a motion
Go ahead.
to approve action item D.
I have a first by Mr. Martinez,
Second.
second by Mr. Gallegos. Any questions or discussion? Go ahead.
Okay. First and a second to approve action item D. Ms. Villalobos?
Aye.
Mr. Cantu? Mr. Gallegos?
Aye.
Ms. Garza?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Marroquin?
Aye.
Mr. Mesa? Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, closed session.
I'd like to make a motion, we go into closed session at 7:33.
First by Mr. Martinez, second by Mr. Marroquin.
All right. First and a second to go into closed session, 7:33. Ms. Villalobos?
Aye.
Mr. Cantu? Mr. Gallegos? Ms. Garza?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Marroquin? Mr. Mesa? Motion carries,
The board would
7:33.
now convene in closed session in accordance to Texas Government Code 551.072 and 551.074, 551.076 the board will adjourn into closed session for the purpose of considering the appointments, employments, evaluations, resignations, reassignments, duties, discipline, or dismissal of employees. Also to discuss an offer made for district property and safety audit report. Thank you. The board will now reconvene from closed session. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to reconvene at 8:33.
First by Mr. Martinez, second by Mr. Marroquin.
We have a first and a second to reconvene. Ms. Villalobos?
Aye.
Mr. Cantu? Mr. Gallegos?
Aye.
Ms. Garza?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Mr. Marroquin? Mr. Mesa? We're back in session at 8:33.
Next item on the agenda, discuss and consider approval of appointments, employments, evaluations, resignations, reassignments, duties, discipline, or dismissal of employees. Dr. Puig.
Thank you, Madam President. No recommendations on item A.
Next item on the agenda, approval of offer made for district property.
Thank you, Madam President. Trustees, I'd like to recommend as discussed in closed session.
I'll second.
I have a first by Mr. Mesa, a second by Mr. Martinez. Questions or comments? No?
Any hits on the other property, sir?
No, sir, but we definitely going to look at the prices and see what, if any, adjustments we need to make to get some more interest.
So that leaves us with how many vacant open spots?
See, we've got, I think, 16, so we had
You know what
18.
shocks me is the one right here, across the flower shop.
Mhm.
It's crazy
First Street.
location, like a good location, everything.
Yeah.
I would have thought that, Mr. Dolores Sanchez would have jumped on that, because he's the one that built those.
Well, build more apartments like the ones that are across the street.
He built those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
So he might, I don't know, maybe reach out to him.
Reach out to him, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know, Mr., what's his last name? From the Main Street grocery. He was interested in in the property over here by Up and Smoke.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Is that his name?
It's TJ.
TJ. Yeah, they call him TJ.
They call him TJ. But it's Patel? Is it Patel? They're all Patel, no? Well, no, I mean, everybody that I know, they're Patel.
Anymore.
Anymore, que chica.
Awkward.
Any other questions?
We
or
have a first and a second on this one, so, Ms. Villalobos?
Aye.
Mr. Cantu? Mr. Gallegos?
Aye.
Aye.
Ms. Garza? Myself, aye. Mr. Marroquin? Mr. Mesa?
Motion passes. Next item on the agenda, adjournment.
I would like
So
to.
moved.
I have a first by Mr. Gallegos. I have a second by Mr. Cantu.
We have a first and a second to adjourn this meeting. On that note, Ms.
Rest
Villalobos?
of our year.
Ms. Villalobos?
Aye.
Mr. Cantu?
Aye.
Mr. Gallegos?
Aye.
Ms. Garza?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Mr. Marroquin? Mr. Mesa?
Thank you, everyone.
Meeting adjourned.